Okay, if we go straight back to the phone line, 201261, you're on the line with HGM.
Hey, Honky Tonk Man, how you doing? This is Todd Hamilton, the Wrestlevessel. I talked to you maybe a year ago or months back. How long has your show been back? I didn't realize that until my friend just linked me today.
How did what now?
How long has your show been back? Is today the first day, or are you guys gone for a while? Because I didn't know you guys were still on.
Yes, we've been gone, and we won't know how the show is going. I mean, so far it's going great. We won't know till we get the numbers, and when we get the numbers, that's all we care about. We want to care that the fans had fun. The fans, there's going to be internet reports tomorrow that's going to say we said this or we said that. I did an interview. I thought I did a very good little review. It was a good interview. It wasn't one of those shoot things the other day for one of the websites and one of the internet radio shows, and talked about a few things, and the next thing you know, I'm getting all this negative publicity. I mean, I'm not Jim Ross, I'm not the spin doctor, and I'm not going to say everything is covered in sugar when it's not, but I mean, I'm sure there's people going to say something today about, or tomorrow about what we said today.
Yeah, I wanted to address a couple of things that you brought up on today's show. One about the economy and many people aren't going to a lot of shows anymore. Well, yeah, I know that's very true. Like most people are just buying like the classic DVDs, but like from my own experience, like I don't even like the current product much. Like WrestleMania is actually in my area. I live in New Jersey, and I don't even think I'm going to go. Like I'll probably try to go to the Access or that Fan Fest thing that you mentioned that you had to cancel on. But, like, I just don't get into these current wrestlers. Like, they lack gimmicks. There's not good tag teams. I miss, like, the old storylines, and it's really hard to relate to today's current product.
That has been the biggest thing that we have heard since we've done the show. And when I go out and I do my independent shows or I do my Comic Cons, it's always the same as what you're saying now. And, we can't knock success. Obviously, they're going to have 75, 80, 100,000 people up there in New Jersey for this big WrestleMania weekend. They're doing something right. They're obviously doing something right that, it's not what we were used to by any means, but it's a different product. It's being done a different way. And obviously, you're thinking back to what you remember, but these young kids out there that's 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, they don't know anything else. That's all they've ever seen.
Yeah, that's very true what you were saying. But I know because they're used to that. And I grew up as a kid. I saw like the 80s and 90s wrestling and the early 2000s. That was some classic stuff for me. And I know you also mentioned earlier about Brad Armstrong. What a great talent he was. I know you wrestled him a couple times when you had your WCW run in '94. One guy I was good friends with. I don't know if you know him or not. A guy named Scott Goldstein was a photographer for the wrestling business. Did you ever hear of him?
I remember Scott Goldstein, of course. And
yeah,
so
he's a good friend of mine.
You're not going back in history now. I wrestled Brad Armstrong one of his first matches he ever had when he was down in Southeastern. I wrestled Brad when I was in the Georgia territory when him and his father were tag team partners. Brad was just a young kid. Myself and Kevin Sullivan, we had matches with them. I had singles matches with Brad. I had 100 matches with him.
Yeah, I could tell because you looked like when you had your couple of matches in WCW, like it looked like you guys were familiar with each other, good chemistry together. So that's why I was asking about that.
I've always said this. There's been 3 guys that that I put out there as some of the best chemistry in the world. Brad Armstrong, Barry Windham, Ricky Martin. These guys, they were, and obviously I would love to have a match with The Rock, not because he's The Rock now. I would have liked to have had a match with him when he was just starting because I can tell he has that, it's that factor. It's that Jim Ross calls it sometimes the it factor. Some of these guys, they have it. It's automatic. They're running on automatic. You don't have to say anything. All you got to do is let it flow like wine.
I also was wondering, back in 1991 when you left, like right before the Royal Rumble, were you supposed to have a feud with Greg Valentine, or like why did you leave? What happened there?
No, I was. Was it Greg Valentine?
Because you guys just broke up as Rhythm and Blues, and you.
Right, and then they sent me over to do TV, and then that thing got all really messed up. The plane tickets weren't coming. I didn't know if I was going to go do Madison Square Garden TV, or was I going to be picked up to be taken up to Stamford to do the TV there. It was a big, big mess, and then I guess they told Valentine. They said, "You're coming back to work." Valentine, because they let him go. You're coming back to work, and we're going to split, and you and Honky are going to have this match. But no one told me. I didn't know anything about it, so I had my lawyer send them a notice, and my lawyer, it was during the Christmas holidays, my lawyer sent a notice to the guy that was taking care of the contracts in WWE, and the guy was on 2 weeks vacation, so no one knew I'd given my notice and quit.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe they didn't give you any information.
Yeah, it's not like Vince calls me and says, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm home in Memphis." "Why?" He said, "You're supposed to be at the Garden." I said, "Since when?" He said, "You're booked at the Garden tonight." I said, "Well, I won't be there. Did you get my notice?" "What notice?" "My lawyer sent the notice in." He hung up. But my lawyer sent the notice, he didn't send it to Vince. He sent it to the guy that was doing the contracts, and the guy that was going on vacation, so he never got. They never saw it.
Well, that's very unprofessional. I can't believe they crossed all those red tape and everything.
If it had been me, I would have called up and said, "Look, Vince, I'm giving my notice. I'm not coming to the Garden. I'm done. If this is the way you're going to treat me," and we probably could have worked it all out. Or he would have said, "Look, man, I got this deal with you and Valentine. Don't take off. Don't be stupid." But that's what happened.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, thanks for having me on the show, both Honky and Steve.
Okay, man.
Honky. Also, one more thing. I also, just to be on the lookout, I mailed you a letter and for something in the mail, an autograph. So just be on the lookout for that. I mailed that a week ago.
Okay, good. I hope you sent money.
Yeah, I know. I know what the Honky Tonk Man's all about.
I get all these little these trading cards. They come out every day. I get like 6 or 8 of them in the mail of different people. "Oh, you're the greatest. I've always loved you. I loved you. Blah 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 blah." You sign the card, and it's on eBay the next day. It's like, okay, all right. So come on. So I started sending everything back, and I said, "Send money." I don't care. The heck with it. I'm like Terry Funk. Terry Funk said, Terry Funk's going to retire, fans. Terry said, "I will do one more match." "I'll do one more match. I'll tell you what. And the only way I'm going to do this match, if somebody says, I'll offer you $1 million, and it's $1 million per ticket. It's $1 million. He says, if only one person shows up, I'll have the match, and I'll make $1 million.
That's never
a great impression.
But anyway, that's what Terry said. He said, "I'll do one more match, but it's got to be $1 million a ticket." So he said, "Well, all I got to do is sell one ticket." Oh, gosh. Steve,